Hello, my name is Muhammad Alam and I am a senior lawyer and barrister, also owner of Alam Law. In majority of our discussion, I talk about injury, accident, slip and fall, insurance matters. But today, I'm going to talk to you on a very important legal matter, which you all have to be careful and ensure that you have carefully listen to the segment and follow up with, if you have a lawyer or consult a lawyer, to consider making a will. Now, our discussion today will be focused on will and power of attorney. Question is, why do I need a will? Why do I need a power of attorney? So let's start with talking about will. I believe we live in a society which is obviously very legally complex society, and everyone who either have even a minor child or children or even adult children, they both require to ensure that they have a will, because if you don't have a will and you have minor children, God forbid something happened to you and your spouse at one time, let's take an example for an unfortunate situation happen and you both die. What will happen to your children? You think or believe that, yeah, my parents can look after my children, or my brother can look after my children or my sister, but that's not true. They cannot automatically have a right to take your child, because that child, custody of a child will be decided by court. And that's very scary, because you want to take that control in your hand while you're alive. So that's number one issue. The other issue about will, that you want to make sure, in your life, we all make efforts, we all make properties and, house and, bank balance and businesses. And you will be surprised that a majority of us do not think to have a will which should be outlining what are your wishes if something happened to you, and as a result dispute arise after you passed away. After you passed away, there's no will, then your family suffer. Your spouse will have to go through a probate process. You will be spending a lot more money in that probate process. There are some tax consequences as well. And we left all these problems for our surviving spouse or children to deal with it, just because we never thought about that we should have a will. Now, the will really means what essentially in your will, what you say, that if something happened to me, what percentage of my property should go to my spouse, what percentage of my property should go to my children, if there is some percentage that you want to donate, if some percentage that you want to give it to your parents or your siblings. You have full control while you're alive when you're writing your will. You may have a wish that you have a sister who is not financially sound, or you want to help your sister, but that is your wish. Unfortunately, that wish will not be carried forward if there's no will. You'll be lucky that all the relatives and everybody joined together and they all believe and think the same way that you wanted to have your assets given to your sister, or a portion of your assets to given to your sister who's not financially, does not have big financial means, and you want to support them. There are certain ways that you want one of your child, for example, to be, I'm talking about adult children, that, you have 3 children, 2 are financially, very strong, but 1 is not financially strong, and you want to give a little bit more to your 3rd child who is not financially strong, who does not have good education or good job, he cannot take care of himself. So as a parent, you will have that control when you prepare a will. But that control is gone because you do not have the will. Similarly, let's talk about your children. That, as I said to you, that you may have a wish that after you pass, you passed away, you will give custody of your children goes to your spouse. But if both passed away, where these children should go? If you write in your will that both of my children will, my younger brother or elder brother will take custody, it's easy. It's written there in your will. Your lawyer will make all these arrangements and everything will be perfect according to your wishes. So the importance of will cannot be undermined. We know that we are all busy, we don't have time, but I suggest each and every one of you get the proper will. I generally don't suggest that you go and find a stationary will, because that can save you a few $100s, because when you go to a lawyer, it may cost a few $100s. But I would not encourage that you do that. The reason is this: you can make mistake. You can do certain things that are not valid. Your will can be invalid, and once you passed away and your estate trustee is looking at the will, take to the lawyer or court, and that will could be invalid because of certain provision you have, there are contradiction. You don't want to do that. So I always want that you find an estate lawyer, a lawyer who deal with estate matters and will and power of attorney. You retain that lawyer. That lawyer may take a little bit, a few $100 more than a lawyer who does not have experience in estate litigation or estate work. But if you have financial means, spend a few $100s, spend some time of your life and make your will. Similarly, you should have a power of attorney as well with the will, and most of the lawyer will offer power of attorney either for your property or for your health. And these two documents are also part and parcel of the will. Anybody who makes will, they should also have these power of attorney, because these power of attorney will help you if you are in the hospital, for example, let's say for brain injury, you are unable to function, then your power of attorney will work. Your estate can still be mobilized. If the power of attorney is with your wife can handle your bank account and other business affairs. But if the power of attorney is not there, then it's a very challenging situation. Similarly, power of attorney for health, your healthcare decision, who will be making it if you are unable to make your own decision? So these three documents are critical to your life, especially in the society that we live in. Please make an agenda. Ensure that you consult a lawyer and get your will and power of attorney done before something goes very wrong and you don't have control. If you have any question related to any of these matters that we discussed in today's segment, feel free to call us on the number on the screen. Myself or one of the lawyer will be happy to guide you and give you advice. Or if you have any other legal issues, again, you can contact us and we'll be happy to give you proper advice about your legal issues. Thank you for watching.